Okay, so it's about lunchtime here, so I thought we would read a story about a sandwich. The title of this story is The Sandwich That Max Made. The author is Marcia Vaughn, and the illustrator is Ellen Gingenbach. Okay, so let's get started. This is the bread all brown and fresh that started the sandwich that Max made. This is the cheese so full of holes that sits on the bread all brown and fresh that started the sandwich that Max made. This is the tomato as red as a rose, yum, that lies on the cheese so full of holes that sits on the bread all brown and fresh that started the sandwich that Max made. Ooh, yum. Do you all know what this is? My little girl loves to eat these. This is the pepper so tasty and sweet that goes on the tomato as red as a rose, that lies on the cheese so full of holes, that sits on the bread all brown and fresh, that started the sandwich that Max made. Ooh, and both my kids like this. Do you all like ham? This is the ham Max likes to eat that covers the pepper so tasty and sweet, that goes on the tomato as red as a rose, that lies on the cheese so full of holes, that sits on the bread all brown and fresh, that started the sandwich that Max made. These are the sprouts as crisp as can be that speckle the ham Max likes to eat, that covers the pepper so tasty and sweet, that goes on the tomato as red as a rose, that lies on the cheese so full of holes, that sits on the bread all brown and fresh, that started the sandwich that Max made. Ooh, yum. Do you all like this? What do you think this is? This is the lettuce as green as a tree that tops the sprouts as crisp as can be, that speckle the ham Max likes to eat, that covers the pepper so tasty and sweet, that lies on the cheese so full of holes, that sits on the bread all brown and fresh, that started the sandwich that Max made. Oh, and look at this. This is the mouth all full of teeth that bites into the lettuce as green as a tree, and into the sprouts as crisp as can be, and into the ham Max likes to eat, and into the pepper so tasty and sweet, and into the tomato as red as a rose, and into the cheese so full of holes. My little boy loves eating cheese sandwiches now. And into the bread all brown and fresh, and eats the sandwich that Max made. Do you see Max eating that yummy, delicious sandwich? He says, yum. Did that make you hungry for sandwiches? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what we're going to do...
My stomach.
Your stomach growled? Well, my two helpers are here, and we're going to have an assembly line to make some sandwiches. Okay. So an assembly line is when you're in a line and then you have certain jobs you have to do. And you have to do something first and next, and then you also have to have something last. So what we're going to have is we've got some bread on both sides, because you have to have a piece of bread on both sides. And we've got some cheese.
Cheese.
Some greens, some
Yummy
spinach.
cheese. I love cheese.
And some bologna. So, your job, you're going to be first and then second, and then I'm the next two, and you're last. So you have
Yeah,
one.
I'm going to do the cookie cutter.
Yes, you're going to put lettuce and then cheese. Wait a minute. And then I'm going to put the bologna and the greens. And then what are you going to do? The
Chop
bread.
it up.
Yeah, the bread, and then you're going to use the cookie cutter to cut it into a shape. Okay, so let's start. Good job.
Before I have to put the greens.
No, that's Mommy's job.
I mean
Okay.
the lettuce.
Nope.
You told me.
No, that's my job. Okay. Okay, now bologna. And then some greens on there.
Greens, cool.
Okay, now it's your turn.
I don't want to eat it.
That's okay. Okay, now, what's your job? Come on.
Cut it.
No?
To put the bread on and cut it up.
Yes. So you put the bread on next, and what's the last thing?
Cut it!
Yeah, you're gonna cut it.
Snip.
Yeah, squish it real hard. Good. Okay, let me help you with the rest
Wow. That crunched.
of it. That, what crunched? What do you think crunched?
The sandwich.
The sandwich? Okay,
Yes.
so let's see it.
It's an apple. It looks like an apple.
Okay, do you see
It
this part?
does.
Whoop, I'm dropping stuff.
Apple and balloon.
In a minute. Yes, you can.
I want that balloon.
Hold on.
The big one.
Hold on. Do you see our sandwich? Okay.
And I'll
Now,
finish it.
we're going to do something a little different. Whoop, sorry. What would happen if we changed the order around? What would happen if we changed the assembly line order?
It would get mixed up. It would be crazy.
Well, let's see. How about you do the cookie cutter first, and then we'll see what happens. What do you think is going to happen, boys and girls?
It's going to be mixed up.
Okay, let me help you.
I wonder what's going on. It's not going to look that good.
Why?
Because we didn't add anything
Well-
on it to be big.
Well, wait. Look what happened. Does that fit right?
Wow, that's cool.
So since we changed the order around, we did this first instead of last. What do we need to do now to make everything else fit on this? What do we need to do?
Cut it.
We have to cut everything. So when you change the order around, sometimes it might need some. You have to do something else.
Can I cut this bread?
Yeah, in a minute.
Hey,
Okay. So I've got to cut
that's
this.
the one I'm
Shh,
getting.
I'll get yours in a minute. Okay. So I had to cut
That's the one I was
the
gonna
apple
eat. Yum
to fit.
yum.
Now the lettuce or the spinach doesn't have to be cut. But let's look. Will this cheese?
No.
What? So what do you have to do?
Cut it.
Yeah, because we changed the order around. Because we changed the
I
order
gotta cut
around,
both of them.
we've got to cut the cheese
I
too.
gotta cut them both.
Yes. Oh, you're right.
It's too big.
Okay.
Ew. I love cheese. Yum yum yum.
Okay, now you go ahead and do that.
I don't really
Okay, so she
know if
cut
I
that.
like yellow cheese, but I did try white cheese.
You like mozzarella cheese, yes.
Yeah, I like mozzarella.
Okay.
cheese.
So, did this
Is that
still make
mozzarella
make the sandwich?
Yeah. I
I
want
want you two to
I want that.
sit quietly for just a minute. Yeah, it did work out. You just had to take more steps when the assembly line was in a different order. You can do it both ways, but the way we did it first was quicker and easier. So when you're doing something, think about how it will work best. I just thought this might get y'all to thinking, so I hope you like it. Can y'all say, see you later, have a good weekend?